Four Downs now brought to you by our friends at Zen Sports. Four Downs is now.
Four downs. Four questions. Four answers. The Dave Hooker Show.
Four
Downs. A presentation of offthehooksports.com.
All right, Fred. So I wanted to ask you about players as they transition into college football, because you and I have talked about it. You really shouldn't depend on freshmen at all. It is such an incredible transition. It's darn near impossible. But I wanted to break that down a little further. So let's do that. What down is it, Cooper Mays?
Coop here. First down.
All right. So first down, easiest position to transition from high school to college is assuming the talent is there.
Running back.
What position?
Running back.
Okay, that's what I would think. Now, what's second?
Probably defensive line.
Okay, I was going to go corner. Because if you're naturally, like you, of course, if you're naturally that athletically gifted, then I would think that you would be able to stick with guys. But
that's not the only thing you do as a defensive back. You got to also learn how to play within the zone. You got to also learn how to play within, with the talent level that you have as well. I mean, you can line up across from a guy that's a Peter Ward as a freshman, and that's not going to be a good. That's not going to be good for you if you've never seen anything like that. Also understanding defense, understanding what's going on. If you're going out and asking a guy to just cover somebody man on man, I get what you're saying. But the game is more than just man-to-man coverage. You got to understand the concept of routes and route reading and offensive linemen when they move and how to understand if it's run or pass and that type of stuff. In high school, you don't really get to learn things like that. Not a lot of coaches understand that themselves in high school. So when you get to college, it's a different learning curve when it comes to playing defense. People used to always say, oh, those guys are on defense because they're not smart. No, you got to learn how to understand the game at a different level when you get to the next level. And every level is different. The NFL was different than college. You need to learn and know a little bit more. But I think running back is because you just give that guy the ball and he has to run. I mean, that's it. All he needs to know is who to block and what hole to hit. On the defensive line, all you got to do is figure out how to manhandle one guy and stay in the right gap. That's it.
All right, before we get to the hardest position to make the transition from high school.
Is it not kicker or punter?
Oh, it's not kicker or punter. Those don't even count. Except for Jeff Hall. But second down, the hardest position, four downs brought to you by our friends at Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee, revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. With Zen Sports, your rewards are cash rewards. You bet with real money, and now you are rewarded with it too. Earn a whopping 5% cash back as a welcome bonus for your first 15 days when you sign up with the code HOOKED. That's hooked. Keep betting and keep earning every month after that with up to 3% cash back rewards on your betting volume. Best of all, earn cash commission on your referral bets with Zen Sports Referral Rewards Program. The cash is back with Zen Sports. Doing it right. Download the app today. Use the promo code HOOKED. So what down is it, Cooper Mays?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
The hardest position to make that transition, Fred White, is?
I would say the two hardest positions to make the transition, one is going to be quarterback, for one. You got to understand everything the defense is doing, understand your blocking scheme, and also most of the time your quarterback is who sets your protection. So sometimes if an offensive lineman misses a block, a lot of times that call came from the quarterback because this is what he saw, to be able to point out those guys. So, I mean, I look at it from a standpoint of offense quarterback. On the defensive side of the ball, safety, because you're the quarterback of the defense. You got to understand what your D-line is doing, your linebackers are doing, what formation they come out in, get the checks right. You're doing the same thing on defense as a quarterback is doing. So I think those are the two hardest positions to transition to.
All right, so we're going to have Caleb's going to take over for third down, and Cooper Mays reminds us of the down.
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Thank you, Cooper.
Yeah, so Fred, we obviously know about
the Jamal Lewis making the very, very seamless transition to college and having All-American talent as a freshman. Among guys you played with, or maybe even guys you didn't, who's a freshman that you would say had the fastest transition to college football from high school?
The only person I ever saw was Jamal Lewis.
So there's no second?
There is no second. No.
Really?
That's pretty easy. Coop, what down are we on now?
SEC center Cooper Mays here. 4th down.
All right, so we move on to 4th down. Who did you not believe in back in your playing days? You saw him as a freshman, and you're like, that guy's not going to be a player. That changed your mind in the most dramatic fashion throughout his career. Is there any one guy that you looked at and you're like, I don't think he can play, and it turns out he was really, really good?
No, I don't know of one. Most of the guys who came could play. And, most of the guys that came when I was in school, they were all the top player in their state or one of the top players in their country or whatever. So most of the guys who came on campus, I felt like they could play. I mean, they all showed us something in practice. I don't know of one guy that came in and was like, I don't know if he's going to make it. Because usually the guys will show you a flash real early. Somebody, they'll either be their guy or you can see them in the weight room or just watch their work ethic. You'll find out real quick if a guy has it. If a guy doesn't have it, you'll know very quick. And usually those guys didn't last long and they just left.
Okay, can you tell one little story that came up in the Celebrate 98 thing? So there's a guy named Brian Darden, and I remember Jimmy Himes saying at the time that he was going to be Tennessee's next great tailback, and I don't think there was much questioning his talent, but he kind of came in with a mouth a little bit that ostracized him from his teammates. What do you recall about Brian Darden showing up on campus? And don't smile. Look at you.
Well, because Brian Darden, a good friend of mine.
I know.
That's my dude.
I know.
He would tell you the same thing I'm about to tell you now. He probably should have kept his mouth shut when he got on campus. I'll tell you that in a heartbeat. But Brian Darden, with all due respect, though, Brian Darden was the number 2 running back in the country behind the guy that went to Kevin Falk that went to LSU. So they were the top 2 running backs in the country, and everyone in the country wanted Brian Darden. So when he came to Tennessee, we felt like he was going to be a home run hitter. He was in my class. He ended up going to Fork Union. I think that's a prep school for 1 year. Then he came in.
Yeah.
And when he came in with a lot of hype now. I mean, if you watch his highlight films and you see the things he's done as a football player, you're like, okay, he got it. He walks in and he looks the part. He works out hard. He's fast, those type of things. And one thing, though, you don't come into the University of Tennessee. Our locker room was different. This is where you have leadership. You don't walk in and tell people you're going to be the starter. You're going to take somebody's position. Hey, man, go out there and get the job done and just do the work. We had a rule where if you were a freshman, you didn't have any say. You basically just listen and understand what's going on, and you figure it out. You don't talk much as a freshman. Jamal Lewis didn't talk much as a freshman. I mean, and he had every right to after going for 200 or some yards in the first game he played. So I look at it like Brian Darden came in with the wrong attitude, and whenever Brian Darden was in the lineup, you already knew that everybody was gunning for the run. We weren't going to let him get a yard.
In practice.
Yeah. In practice.
Coach Yost over here.
We didn't care if they were throwing the ball at all. We just knew that if Brian Darden was in the backfield, we're not going to let him get a yard. Because we're not going to let him talk. And, that was the thing. If he would have got past the line of scrimmage and made a 10-yard run, everybody in the country would have heard about it. So
Jamal Lewis is the one player that I don't want to say the only one, but up there number one that I saw one play out of. And this is before I covered you guys. I mean, I wasn't at practice and all that stuff, but he's the one player that I saw one run from, and I said that guy's special. I can't remember when the run was, but early that season I was like, whoa. And the term I immediately used was bull in a china shop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that dude was knocking down China fast.
Well, and that's the other. You asked that first question. You talk, a guy that you didn't think was going to be good. Everyone had one of those moments. Everybody did. Had that moment of like, dang, okay, he's pretty good. Even Brian Darden had those moments. He caught the ball out of the backfield a few times and shook somebody and got down the sideline. And you'd be like, okay, he got it. You know what I mean? But it wasn't many that I saw that just didn't have it, because that means you weren't really going to be. I mean, I doubt that you would have signed with us if that was the case. We were signing top 2 and 3 classes at that time when we were in school. So we weren't bringing in guys who were duds.
No, you were not. Great stuff, Fred. We look forward to continuing the Celebrate 98 series. It's brought to you by Tennessee Cider Company. You can go to tncidercompany.com, use the promo code HAT, and get some free swag. Get a hat with any order. You can order Tennessee Cider from the Tennessee Cider Company, and I think 46 states in the nation. Probably Missouri not on board. We were ripping Missouri earlier, Fred, but I don't know why Missouri drew my ire today, but they did. But it is
too.
That's right. It is fantastic. So check it out, tncidercompany.com. Use the promo code HAT. Fred, have a blessed weekend. Are you in the ATL this weekend?
I'm in the ATL this weekend. I actually have my office open this weekend from 10 to 2. First Saturday we've been open since we've been open. So guys, come give us a holler.
Yeah, tell us about how we can be in good hands.
You can be in good hands by giving us a call right here. Dave, I like how you teed that up. You can be in good hands right here with us. Just give us a call at 770-381-0367. Myself or my wonderful staff will be ready to help you to answer any questions that we can for you. Just give us a call, or also look us up on any social media network, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's Fred White Allstate. You can also just Google us. If you don't want to talk to us, you can get a quote by yourself right on our website.
You'll want to talk to Fred. Get that Darden story, that Brian Darden story. Fred, have a blessed weekend. We appreciate you, buddy.
You have a good one, Dave.